Welcome to Niagara Falls. I tried to start the stream today in the same place that thumbnail looks like it was taken. It's a much better day than I expected today. We got a bit of wind, so the mist is just kind of flying everywhere. It's already hitting us over here. Have to let me know if the camera gets too wet. I'll try to do something about that. There's always work going on around here. You can see there's lots of older buildings and things like that, and it needs some maintenance. Crews around working all the time. Good Times Homestead, thank you for coming in. I'll get down closer to the falls on the way back. We'll walk over to the Rainbow Bridge there. And in the distance, of course, you're looking at Niagara Falls, New York. Dave's Adventures, good to see you, Yellow Shirt Dad. Thanks for coming in. Haven't done one of these in a while, but I wanted to get out today specifically. The weather hasn't been in our favor for a while, but this is probably the last chance for spring. Before the next time I get out here, the trees will probably all have their leaves, the flowers will have bloomed and things like that. But we're lucky today. I was expecting it to be overcast and it's not really. So, Steve Kennedy, good to see you here. Thanks for coming in. Being down here now makes me wonder why I don't come down here more often. Of course, I've been here 100 times, but when you're here, you have to wonder, if you're gonna go for a walk anywhere, why wouldn't you go here? It's less than 20 minutes from driveway to parking lot for me to get over here. I think about getting a bike, but it's not a serious thought, it's just an idea. Maybe one of these days. A lot of history around here. You'll see a lot of things like this where we've got a statue, you got some plaques behind that let you know exactly what the significance is. This building that I'm about to pass, not the small one on the ground, but up above, you can see those LED panels. Those are what sends the light and the light show onto the Niagara Falls, or at least the Horseshoe Falls. There's other ones that shine onto the American Falls and Bridal Veil Falls beside it there, as you can see. It's a really nice area down here. Now, since it's Monday, you're not gonna find as many people as you would on a weekend, of course. But as weeks go on, it's getting busier and busier. You can imagine on the long weekends like we have in a couple weeks now, it'll be packed. Pardon me, just getting over the very last 1 or 2% of a cough and everything from last week. CJ's Info, good to see you here. Thanks for coming in. Warmstrong Adventures is in the house. During the pandemic, everything was closed, right? And one of the things that we have here is just a building that's got gift shops in it and a restaurant and this and that. You can imagine like eating there and having that view. But we came over here and sat and ate $7 hot dogs. that was 2 or 3 years ago. When you were allowed to have that outside. Canada went through some of the strictest restrictions that I know of for a while. When we come back the other way, we'll get a better look. I'll walk right by over there where everybody is so we can get a good look at the Horseshoe Falls. That's really on the Canadian side. And then of course the American Falls are on the American side. but we are very lucky to have the better view. They've got a lookout tower over there now. We've had that for a while. Is almost my favorite weather, where it's not hot, like I'm literally just walking around in a t-shirt, and there's the smallest breeze or wind, whatever you want to call it, but obviously the sun is shining. I'm sure I'll get burnt because I'm one of those guys. Lots of transit around here too. It's easy to get around in Niagara even if you just wanted to come and stay and get a hotel and stay parked between the shuttles and the buses and everything else. It's easy to get around. Yeah, it sure is nice. Kristen for a long time was able to do this drive literally every day to work. And like I said, it's so close to where we actually live. We live just outside the city, but it's less than 20 minutes from driveway to parking lot for me to come over here. Probably far less, actually. Brett, good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. Hopefully I haven't missed anybody. Mama 4 boys, thanks for coming in. It's a gorgeous day. Look at those flowers. This is what I'm talking about. When you look at the trees right beside them, they're not fully, back to summer conditions yet, but the flowers are starting to pop up. The next time I get down here, it'll be summer and things will look even more beautiful. I'm gonna stay over here for now. We'll walk all the way over to the Rainbow Bridge and then we'll decide what we're doing, but probably head back the other way. I've not been walking enough. Doctor told me last year I gotta start walking. Haven't done it nearly as much as I should. But this is a nice excuse, right? Niagara Falls is a beautiful city too. You can see that there are lots of hotels here. What I'm in front of right now is the Skylon Tower. We've been to dinner there a couple of times. We love that place. They always do a spectacular job, but similar to the CN Tower, or maybe the Space Needle or something like that. The restaurant revolves. I think it takes 90 minutes. So you get a view of Niagara Falls, the city, which is a fairly flat city. There's not many buildings that are beyond 4 stories right now, except the hotels. And then, of course, the Niagara Falls. Can't beat that view. On these big lawn areas out here, this is kind of where everybody hangs out to watch the fireworks that happen all the time. And then in the winter we have this gorgeous, one of the world's probably largest Christmas light displays called the Winter Festival of Lights. I did a couple of videos for that. One of the things I did was a stream, and not thinking about the weather, it was too cold and the phone froze after 8 minutes. So it was meant to be a stream, but it cut off as more like a video, only 10 minutes long or 8 minutes, whatever it was, and got thousands of views. So that was lucky. Mona did what? Good to see you here. GJ Journeys, thank you for coming in. Chris Smith. Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful view. I'm very lucky to be close to this. I didn't come up nearly as much as I used to. Last year I did a few streams, but I've lived here a while now. It's getting on 7 years. I was born, raised, and grew up in Toronto. I continue to work around there a lot of the time, but for a few years I was coming to, especially down to the States. So I'd cross either the Rainbow Bridge here or the Peace Bridge in Fort Erie and Buffalo. So I've been through here many times. We did the zip line, which will come up on soon. I don't know if it'll be running right now. Monday is, I can't see any reason why they wouldn't have it running unless it's just not too busy enough to justify the staff or whatever, but we'll see. We did that, and pardon me, they won't let you go on the zip line with a gimbal or anything like that. So I was streaming that day. The stream's still up, but what they do is they make you take all your stuff and put it in a bag. So for about 3 minutes or a little bit more, there's like just black nothing on the screen. And then I did have a GoPro on me, so I was able to wear that. I got that chest mount thing, right? And we're able to go down the zip line. You could see what that's like. So I put that as a separate video. They give you a promo video too. A lot of tourist destinations and activities are doing that these days, right? You pay a small fortune and they give you a fully produced video that you can put up. Copyright free music and all that. Pardon me. VS Speaks Royally, good to see you in the house. Oh, they did that zip line, eh? Mama 4 boys. This one takes about, I think I timed it out to be about 45 seconds or something like that, which, you know, feels long enough when you're standing there counting it out. I've only ever been on a couple of zip lines, just this one and one in a place we call Blue Mountain. That's a couple hours outside the major cities, more north, where we have what we would call cottage country. See, look at these flowers. That says spring right there. It's nice that they put these all through the area. Mayhem and Miracles, good to see you here. Again, hopefully I haven't missed anybody. There's Kristen right there. We live here together, of course. She has been working from home for a long period of time, so not doing this drive every day anymore, but yeah, hopefully everybody's enjoying it. But like I said, I just wanted to get out here before spring is not spring anymore, because we've had a week of rain, basically. And when you combine that with the nice weather today, and hopefully what will continue, I think by the time I even get down here, whether it would be a week or two or shortly longer, everything will be in full summer mode. A little bit of cleaning up to do, I guess, but flowers are blooming. I tend to walk too fast. I've started to notice, like, you know, we learn every day, or, you know, as life goes on, even after all these years, because now I've been on YouTube for 6 years. I think I started this channel 5 years ago. But still, when I watch vloggers now, I'm starting to see that people tend to walk too fast. You know, you blink it, it's over, you miss it, literally. So I'm trying to remember. I tend to walk fast anyway. I'm like speed walker or something, but trying to think about that and take it easy so that we can enjoy the view today. Thank you, Mona did what? Oh, lots of rain for Mayhem and Miracles too, yeah. Yeah, that sound of the running water, we can, dare I say, almost hear it from our place too. You know, it's louder than you think it would be. Should come down here and just do an ASMR. Leave the GoPro running for an hour or a couple hours or whatever. They got a beautiful light show that happens on the falls as well. We'll see them soon when I cross the street. I'll walk back like on the side closer to the falls so we can really see. But there's a light show. Showed you those LED panels. And there's more obviously that shine on the American falls over here. But they really do an elaborate show. So they change colors. One of the things they do is when there are different globally recognized holidays or charitably, how do you say that? Days that are recognized for different nonprofits or charities for awareness and things like that, they'll color the falls and everything certain colors. So for instance, in the case of epilepsy, which just passed in March, March 26th is Purple Day. So in a lot of cases, they'll make the falls and the Skyline Tower and other places purple for at least a short period. I don't know the truth about burning the lights out like a television or anything like that, but Kaz's Crafts and More, good to see you here. Thanks for coming in. Oh, Mayhem and Miracles is close actually. We're hoping to do, we're hoping to have a couple, I'm hoping to meet up with a few people, maybe this summer. My dear friend, Elevate with Vern, may come across. She's talked about that as an idea. You know, she planned on coming over right before the pandemic started. As soon as they put the lockdowns in, it put the kibosh on her plans. But come hither with Heather. And Werner's Adventures might come through. Hope Bus is not too far. I've met up with them twice. Hopefully, again very soon, because they're working on a custom RV conversion project of a coach bus. And we got to go and have a tour at the halfway or 3/4 mark when you can see that on my channel as well. But then we'll see it when it's finished or almost ready to go. So we'll go over there shortly. I didn't know if I was going to go up to Clifton Hill, but we'll try. You can listen to me huff and puff because I've been out of shape and gained all kinds of weight over the winter. That's the Rainbow Bridge, so we won't go quite over there. There's nothing to see over there except the bridge itself, but up here is where the action happens. Clifton Hill has literally hundreds of activities, restaurants. There's a bowling alley, there's theaters of different types, museums, the Wax Museum. I was lucky enough to do a video there, and I called down to ask permission, right? And they were so unbelievably accommodating that one of the, I think he was the director of marketing or promotion, something like that, came down and assisted. So he allowed not only us to do a video inside the Wax Museum, but it was a much better video than I could have done myself, of course. So that was cool. Maybe we'll get a chance to do some more of those things now that things are 100% open up. They have been for a long time, but we'll see. You can see the Hard Rock Cafe over there. And then there's another few shops and small restaurants and things, but we'll go up the hill. You'll see an enormous Ferris wheel. I don't know why I keep forgetting how high that thing is, 127 feet or something. Hilda DC, good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. Hopefully I haven't missed anybody. Andy, no, good to see you in the house from Germany. One thing that's great about this city too is they really take care to make sure that everything is, well, let's say safe, but also visually appealing all the time, right? So you'll see small bits of people working all the time, but they're doing things like re-leveling these sidewalks and things. The millions of people that come walking through here basically mean you got to stay on top of it, right? But they do a good job. You'll find that most of the streets around Niagara Falls are freshly paved. Seems like every few years, actually. So unless you get far into the outskirts or where the locals would more so live and hang out, everything is pristine for the most part.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
When I first moved down here, I was still learning about the area. There's things you got to do, like grocery shopping, get your hair cut, and get a mechanic to do oil changes and stuff like that. Somebody had said to me at one point, "Oh, Niagara Falls, terrible to grow up here. There's nothing to do." I just, to this day, can't understand. There's everything to do. So I'll try to take it easy so you don't have to listen to too much huffing and puffing while I walk up this hill. Work season for me starts tomorrow, so hopefully I'll be in better shape by the end of the summer. Huge arcade here too. This is not what some of us will remember as Donkey Kong and Pac-Man and things like that. And the bowling alley is in behind all this. There's two in this city. It's not a huge town either. It's not a small town, but it's not a major city by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah, people have described it like that, Jen, Good Times Homestead, like a mini Vegas. Pedrosa Travel, good to see you here. Oh, there's so much, so many shops. Our understanding too, they've put out articles about how things can be, I don't want to say overpriced, so I won't, but let's say highly priced. I gotta be careful. Some of the places allow you to film, but they just don't want the staff to be in it. You know, I'm sure they're in all kinds of people's TikToks and Instagram videos and stuff like that, and I've had a few people who've said hello on the cam and this and that over the years. This is where they make the fudge. We've seen that a few times in my streams. Maybe one day I'll come down and do a dedicated video of it, but we've likely all seen that many times. Lots of treats. You want ice cream and pretzels and candy and fudge and all kinds of stuff. There's literally a Hershey store here. There's a few independent restaurants and things like that mixed in between the franchises. Like you see IHOP and Burger King beside each other over there. And then one of the things that they have, how are you? So they got this thing called a Fun Pass, right? And you get tickets to a bunch of activities, as you can see. So $35 now, but you're getting 6 different activities, including the Sky Wheel. There's Boston Pizza too, right? More franchises. Look at the size of this thing. Kristen remembers every time I forget, but I think it's 127 feet or something. We've been on that as well. Yeah, because it's Monday, Pedrosa Travel. Yeah, known as the honeymoon capital of the world, actually, this area. I always walk the same way when I come down here. We'll go this way this time. I'll circle around the other way maybe or something. Everything's fairly condensed here. There's one of the casinos. And then they got another thing on the other side. Look at this, combo pass, $20 for a handful of different activities over there. You know, in my life, I still haven't played laser tag that I remember. Pardon me. Enormous gift shop here. I won't bother going in because they specifically asked here not to have the staff film, but look at the size of this place. Down some of these alleys, you'll find a few extra activities in places as well. Can you see that in the distance there, the upside down house? That's a tourist attraction here. You can go in. Somehow this place here, Kelsey's on the corner. This is a popular franchise around here. They do all the standard, like, you know, pasta, burgers, chicken, all that stuff. But because of these garage doors, somehow during the pandemic, they were able to stay open for most of it. I guess claiming to be it's a patio, even though they have a patio too. That was something else. And in this whole area, when we go down these streets, it's all hotels, motels, restaurants, more activities, mini golf, all kinds of stuff. Down this street as well, all the way down there. And there's lots more actually. This is where the real action happens though, so. We always come around here. Mark the Shark, good to see you in the house. Should have worn your hat today. I think I said I was going to do that too, and I didn't. Well, it's honeymoon capital of the world, so anything's possible. I wondered if this would be running. It looks like it might be, but this is a go-kart track. They call it the Mario Kart inspired Niagara Speedway. To this day, still, Kristen and I haven't been on it, but we brought my son and her daughter down here. They did it. I put a couple of shorts up. But you can see how cool this is. It's all brand new. It was just put up a few years ago. Sounds like it's running. I hear the guy on the speaker. Any literalist? Good to see you in the house. Hopefully I haven't missed anybody in the chat, but thank you everyone for being here. Please don't forget those thumbs up. If you have the ability to share, that helps as well, whether it's on a community tab, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, or another social network. Oh yeah, there's almost nobody worrying about it now. They got a couple cars that are maybe about to go. It's a lot more fun to see this when it's like in full swing, right? Looks like they got about 50 that go at a time. I could be wrong, of course, but Scratch and Pete, good to see you. Thank you for coming in. Again, I feel myself walking too fast. Got to make a conscious effort not to do that. There is opportunity to spend any amount of money here if you wanted. Obviously they'll open these up on the busier days, but between the pizza and the popcorn and the funnel cakes, and we even have beaver tails down here, which is a Canadian thing, but it's a pastry that's laid out to look like a beaver tail with almost every topping you can think of. Ripley's owns half the street now, it seems, or at least is renting it out. I don't know whether they own it or what. But they got a few different museums and things like that, like right here. When you buy those passes, they give you a couple of options for this mini golf here. I don't think we ever used our golf tickets. There's a mini golf course back there, if you can see, with the dinosaur and the mountain behind, the volcano. And then they give you a ticket. You can either use it for that or for this Wizards Golf inside. I don't think we ever used them the last time we bought passes.
This is the house of Frankenstein.
Oh, Beaver Tail's right there, beside Burger King.
As you climb the 1,300 haunted stairs, terror remains unknown, preying on unsuspecting victims. Do not turn around, for there is no turning back. Find the hidden passageway and finish the journey of death. Or maybe
Well, they haven't changed the sign yet. So here's I think it says $24.99 right under the sign that says $19.99. That's all right. Pardon me. Better look at that sky wheel. At night, that thing lights up too. Bright white, looks like an LED Tron looking thing. This was the, this will be heartbreaking for a few people. It's a Blue Moose toy store now. This was the Harley Davidson store. Right inside that door, they used to have a motorcycle and people could sit on it and take selfies and all that. Get an idea of like how much there is to do here. I know a lot of people will come for a weekend, but I still don't know if you can get things done in that amount of time. They got other stuff too. They got water parks. Of course, surrounding Niagara's other activities. It's known as wine country in Canada, or at least Ontario, Canada. So you got wineries everywhere. People go on wine tasting tours. You got breweries, people brewing all kinds of beer and different things. Tours of all kinds. History like crazy. Now we'll head back down towards the falls. Mr. Bean, good to see you here. Hopefully I haven't missed anybody, but thank you everybody for being here. Rainforest Cafe is another popular franchise around here. They have a Rainforest Cafe in the States. If I ever asked, I forget already, but Radical Changes, good to see you in the house. Oh, Dave's Adventures, yeah, no wine tasting for you. It's really popular. It's almost odd to me that I've never gone, just because so many people around me have. Niagara's so close to Toronto, it's only an hour and a half away. So you'll likely not find anybody inclined to do something like that that hasn't done it already. Kristen and I were making a small amount of wine when I first moved down here with her. But that was just a short-lived thing that we did. I forget whether we did 20 or 30 or 50 cases over a year or two of it. Not any kind of wine connoisseur or anything like that. I never go in here with the stream, so we'll just have a quick look. But Kristen will know better than I will imagine what actually goes on here a lot of the time. But it's a nice enough area for people to come and visit. Nate Vlog, good to see you in the house. He is in the Philippines right now. Nate Vlog is quite the jet setter. He's somebody who's been with me from the beginning, actually. Literally, like it has to be over 5 years now, because Nate Vlog, while I could be mistaken about the timeline, he's been here from the beginning. It seems still supports everything we do, me and Jeff both. For those of you who know, I run Jeff's channels as well. And he, I used to run a couple more, but I let them go. I only want to run channels. Well, I'm not probably going to take any more on, but if the owner of the channel is hands-on, you know, if it's here, Kev, can you just pay me to do it? That's not the same. I don't think I could have success in the same way. Destination Fun, good to see you in the house. We're just coming back down to the falls right now. Imagine Niagara Falls, a beautiful city. It's a nice place to live too, because like I was saying earlier, it's not a major city by any means, but it's not a small town either. So you still have access to anything that you want around here, basically. When you think about, like, oh, I need something, I gotta go buy it. Like, there's not much you can't get at all hours of the day. But when you leave the grocery store, they say, have a nice day. You know, and things like that. A little bit of a small town charm in a larger city. Once I get across the street, we'll get a better look at the actual falls again. Just for those of you who've come in recently, there's the Rainbow Bridge. This is where, if you were here, you would pass over into Niagara Falls, New York. And there's their Seneca Niagara Casino there too. Kristen and I actually had luck over there. We don't play a lot. We didn't do too badly over there. Neil Warden, good to see you in the house. Shizer, good to see you in the house. Another fellow Canadian.
Yeah, he just like had someone following around.
Hopefully I haven't missed anybody. But thank you everyone for being here. They got a lot of these things too, like not just pop-up shops, like this literally says it, right? It's a shipping container turned into a store, which is cool. But they've got, pardon me, they'll put up tents, you know, like those trade show style tents, and they'll sell things there. So there goes the horn blower over there. And the Maid of the Mist that we know so well from TV and movies. On the left here, you see the Niagara, the American Falls, and the small piece on the right side of it is the Bridal Veil Falls, and then far off in the distance is the Horseshoe Falls, which is really on the Canadian side. Look at that mist. This is really something to see in the winter too. I've done a few winter streams where you get to have a look at this and see what it looks like, especially with the light show in the evenings and stuff like that. Fireworks are common. I'm not sure how often they're doing them now. They did take at least 1 year off, if not 2, during the thing. I'll get back up where the views are in a second. You see this area here, Grandview Marketplace it's called. So there's a restaurant down there, and you can sit and have a meal and have the view of the falls. And then they got gift shops and things like that as well. Oh, they filled this in. This wasn't filled in for a couple of years, where they got this like the dirt and the bushes and plants and stuff. I think that used to be water. We'll have to look back at the older videos and streams and see what they were doing with that. Coming up on the zip line again. So the hornblower is the Canadian version of the Maid of the Mist, and that's these boats where they have the red raincoats. The blue and green one is the Maid of the Mist that you've seen from like The Office and other TV and movies and things. Still haven't been on this yet, not that I remember. We expect to go at some point. I have to go and spend money on another GoPro for that. Get one of the new 11 waterproof ones. The only GoPro I've used up until now has been a 5. I even bought that a couple years late. It has a chip in it that they can't use anymore because of patents and everything else. They had a ability to do video and photo at the same time. Here goes the zip liners. They're doing just like on the picture. I'll get a better view in a second. We'll watch another run of them going down. This is where they have the tower. It's usually quite a wait. Get up there, they put you in your harness and all that stuff, and then take all your personal belongings away so you can't film unless you're wearing a GoPro. We got that done, so that was good. Give you an idea here of what this is like, and then we'll keep moving. Put it on the zip liners when they're ready to go. I've only been on 2 zip lines, and the other one was faster. That was up in a place we call Blue Mountain, and it's super speed, right? Where you get to the end and you kind of fly all over the place. This one here is much more calm, but you can't beat that view. So thanks again everyone for being here. If you haven't already given a thumbs up, I hope you will. They really do help. Sign your life away, huh? I'm only one industrial accident away from total financial freedom. Look at how close, I don't know if you can see off in the distance there, how close the Maid of the Mist and the hornblower go right into the pool at the bottom of the Horseshoe Falls there. you know you're just getting soaked. You can see the mist coming off both the falls there. You can tell it's not too overly windy either, because that mist is just flying straight up in the air almost, right? Sometimes it feels like it's raining. These guys are ready to go. It's a cool ride. And then I know I mentioned it a couple times already, but I did do a zipline video with a GoPro, so you can see what that's like. What a gorgeous day. I thought it was supposed to be cloudy and overcast, so we're really lucky today. You know, it's because of all the water and the mist and everything else. When you're really lucky, you can catch rainbows all over the place. I'm glad we came down here today, because it's a great idea to have been able to see this in the spring before the summer really sets in. This is what I'm talking about here. This particular tree is an idea. You know, everything's budding but not quite full, which is nice to see. And then when I come down the next time, it'll be summer. Met a couple other YouTubers down here as well. Mr. Joshy and I met over here, and then there's been a couple of small meetup type things. Hopefully we get into more of that now that things are well open. I know a lot of our friends are arranging a lot of meetups and things like that. Rambling with the Broom, Scott is around the Ottawa area. He does well with that. He's really a bit of a go-getter when it comes to wanting to meet up with other people. No matter how old I get, I still always think that tomorrow is promised, so I miss opportunity. For instance, with Rambling with the Brooms, actually, because I was in Ottawa many times over the last few years and kept doing what I was doing, so we didn't meet up. Pardon me. Hopefully sooner than later, though, we will. Thank you, Mark the Shark. There it is, magnolia trees. Oh, Dave's Adventures did some cable cars too. See, Dave's Adventures does all kinds of travel, like particularly theme parks. For those of you who haven't met him, he's in the UK. In this chat, if you use the command !link, it'll drop your link. We do it on this channel and the music channel, but not Tuber Chat, for obvious reasons. But here it's okay, if you feel so inclined. You're starting to get an idea of just how much area there is around here. You know, families usually are out here in the summer having picnics and spending the whole weekend. Call Me Veem was expected maybe to come down here as well. Somewhere in the area. I think they actually were expecting to meet up with our friends Hope Bus, and if they do, I'm fully going to interfere and meet up with them again. We're just going to pause for a second here, but there's the hornblower, specifically the Canadian boat. I'm going to try to, without wrecking the stream, zoom in here a bit so you get an idea of what that looks like. Is that ever something, eh? I can see on the screen now what you're seeing in the video. It looks, the enormity of the falls is intimidating, to say the least. You know they're just getting drenched. Oh goodness. Today's a spectacular day for this. Oh. Probably want to get onto one of those boats in the summer when it's like super wet, or when it's super hot. Cool off. I'll bring you back over to the American Falls here for a second. Dude Classics in the house. Good to see you here. That little piece on the right is the Bridal Veil Falls, but this is literally the American Falls on the American side. What we were just looking at, the Horseshoe Falls on the Canadian side, and then off in the distance you can somewhat see the beginnings of Niagara Falls, New York. They have other activities down in the water too. They can't do it here because it'd be too dangerous with the currents and everything, but down the river a little while you can get to these jet boats, and I forget how much capacity there is. I did that too. I did that long before I started a YouTube channel, so I wouldn't have thought to worry about a video or anything, but I forget if those boats have probably 20, 30, 40 people on them, but they really like just whip all over the place. You get soaked doing that too. But there's a million things to do here. One of the considerations in the idea of like, would you actually want to live in a place like this, is that as you get older, you wonder about having people come to visit, but it's quite a draw to say, why don't you come and see us in Niagara Falls, because there's a million things to do, right? I'm sure by the next time I come down here too, if I do it on a weekend, it'll be slam packed. This is the perfect weather. The small breeze, and I'm just in a t-shirt, not gonna barely break a sweat or anything like that. Certainly not overly hot. You see a few people in sweaters and stuff, right? Lots of these lookout binocular things as well. It takes a Canadian toonie, I believe, which is our $2 coin. In Canada, we don't have singles like our American friends. Those are long, long gone. We used to have $1 and $2 bills, but those are way behind us now. But we do have $1 and $2 coins, and put that in there and you get your minute or whatever it is of time. Pardon me. There's a few really interesting hotels here too. Yeah, what's that? It's called the Tower Hotel. Yeah, I think is if you can see that through the trees there beside the Embassy Suites, and it's another tower similar to what we talked about with like the Skyline Tower, the restaurant, and the CN Tower or Space Needle, where the hotel rooms are all up at the top, but it kind of sits there on its I don't know what you call that. Elevators have to take you upstairs and all that stuff. Honk Tube, good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. Hopefully I haven't missed anybody, but thank you everybody for being here. If you haven't already given a thumbs up, I hope you will. Still using for today a DJI Osmo 4 gimbal. That's what keeps the picture so fairly steady. Still haven't upgraded to a 5 or a 6 because I love my gimbal so much, it's perfect. Tell by the water on the ground soon enough how wet we're gonna get. If it's gonna get all over the lens or anything. I think so. Neil Warden, yeah. If they were gonna film, they film here. Yeah, I think that was the Superman thing, yeah. Never know how much is real and how much is like recreated, but I'm sure they film here all the time. Even outside of this area, Niagara Falls is a beautiful city. There's tons of history all over the place, so lots of opportunity. Plus the hotels would get filmed in, I'm sure. I should rewatch the Superman and see if I can figure out the exact place where they would have been filming and doing that. This building we're coming up on is called Table Rock, and it's got a restaurant in it and gift shops and things like that as well, but it's another place you can sit right beside the falls and enjoy the view at the same time as a meal. They do a good job over there. You can see we're getting so much closer. I did exactly what I said I wasn't going to do, which was walk fast. I can tell already. And see, you can do there's tourists down there in the yellow jackets, if you can see them, enjoying a view as well. I don't know if that's Journey Behind the Falls, is it? Kristen knows better than I do. Oh, is it Kaz Crafts and More's birthday today? Happy birthday. Kaz Crafts and More is the wife of Dave's Adventures. I'll give you another look back at the American Falls as well. Yeah, for the life of me, I can't remember if that's exactly what that is. Yeah, but Kristen's right. They come up with different things once in a while too, right? We'll hang out for a bit and see the horn blower. I'll give you an idea of exactly how close it's going to get right up to those Horseshoe Falls. Oh, tomorrow Kaz crafts some more. Hopefully it will be a good day in the UK for you. Thank you, Scratch Pete. Yes, if anybody hasn't already given a thumbs up, I hope you will. Ooh. Feel the water's gonna get to us now. Wind changed direction here. I'm not able to tell. You have to let me know if it gets all over the lens, if I gotta try to wipe it off or anything. We might be lucky for now. Yes, I don't often enough zoom when we're watching these things. Wonder if there's a way to do it without actually like grabbing the screen, so it's so abrupt. Wonder if it could be done with a button combination or something. Boat looks super fake. Oh, it's real. It's very much real. They got a few. Hornblower looks like they've got at least 2 or 3 over there, and the Maid of the Mist is at least 3 that I see right now. Not to mention if they've got any others in storage or anything. Oh wow, Lynn B. Thank you for coming in. Yeah, it's a wonderful place to live. I've been here now with Kristen for about 7 years. Oh wow, yeah, Lynn B, that's can't have been fun. Good Times Homestead is zooming while they're watching. Let me see if I can do this at all. Let's see. This is what I mean about being so abrupt. But, see the water on the ground here, you can get an idea of just how wet everybody gets over here watching or looking. Oh yeah, it's not busy just because Monday. It'll be a lot busier on the weekends, I'm sure, and especially in the coming weeks. Our first long weekend comes up in a couple of weeks here, Victoria Day weekend. I think it's 1 week earlier than Memorial Day, if I'm right. Yeah, the summer will be something else here. We do actually, yeah, down here. So I'm on one of the two biggest networks in Canada. I use Virgin, but they back off of Bell. But yeah, so the internet gets about as good as it can. I'm using an iPhone 12 right now, but you know, streaming just at 720 allows for a decent enough picture, right? If you're watching on a big 80-inch TV or something, it might not be perfect, but should be bright and beautiful enough. But thank you everybody for being here. I really do appreciate everybody hanging out. If you don't mind, if you haven't already, please give me a thumbs up on the way out. We'll cut it here, and I'm gonna get going to start my week, and we'll see everybody soon again. Yeah, Canada's Wonderland. Hopefully I'll make it soon. They opened last week, so we'll see. Thanks everyone. Bye-bye.